Coming to you live from one of my favorite places in Newark, New Jersey. I'm with my man. Introduce yourself.
Jose Robles, owner of Fortress of Solitude.
That's right, the best comic book store in New Jersey.
I was about to say it.
And if anybody has any words, come check the store out and let's see what you think. Jose, why is it important to own a comic book store, especially in these times in Newark, New Jersey?
Wow, that's a good question. I always thought that comics kept me personally out of trouble. So, first of all, our youth, if they start reading earlier in life, I think they'll be less likely to get in trouble. I love comics. I loved them all my life. I've been collecting since I was 8 years old. I got a personal collection with 100,000 comics at home personally. So, this is just a little side thing that I do that I love. Important that we kept it going because it's almost been lost twice before. The previous two owners lost it, so I'm just trying to keep the tradition alive. We've been around for 38 years, and it's a safe haven. A lot of people come here just to feel safe, to hang out, to read, to look at the store. So we're a place where you come in and feel comfortable. We know everybody, so everybody comes in here. They're friends, they're not customers, and we provide so many services to the community. So a lot of kids wait for the parents here when they get out of different schools around the area. So anything we can do to help, we help. We donate a lot of books to community events, kids, clubs. So there's a club in the North Ward with Adriana. We give her a lot of stuff for her kids to, after school programs. So whatever we can help with the community, that's what we're here for.
Looking around the store, everybody, we're gonna give you a little pan shot. We got Marvel, we got DC. We have toys, we have independents.
Comics,
Spider-Man out right now on PS4. There you go. We got Venom coming out. Shout out to Corman who's taking me to go see the Venom. And on the wall, as you see, we have even old school books like The Man from U.N.C.L.E., Dark Shadows, G.I. Joe.
Mod Squad of the
Mod Squad. That's some old school stuff. Jose.
First Carnage.
Carnage. Another Spider-Man throwback, y'all. Jose, let me ask you a question. With the boom of DC television and Netflix and Marvel, how has that affected the comic book money as far as people coming to the store getting introduced to books or continuing the collection?
It's helped. I mean, definitely a lot of people will see a show and want to catch up and to remember Daredevil. They want to read the old Daredevil run. They buy trade paperbacks. So it does help a lot. Infinity Gauntlet, I can't tell you how many copies of the trade paperback of Infinity Gauntlet that includes the first part of the movie and the second part. So if you want to know the ending, just read the Infinity Gauntlet graphic novel from 96, 97, and it'll tell you what's going to happen in the second movie. So it does help. It's keeping comics relevant. It's not a bad thing anymore to be a collector. Now it's cool to be a nerd like we were. Not as cool when I was in high school, but...
So let me ask you this. Cosplay has boomed and taken over and reintroduced the mainstream to characters that have been popular on and off. We've seen the resurgence of Spider-Man.
Correct.
We see now Miles Morales. Harley Quinn. Which is a Batman character, and I think Batman and Spider-Man have to be the most popular characters in comic book history, next to like Superman and the Hulk.
Yeah, those are the top 3 out of the top 5. Yeah.
With cosplay coming in, how has cosplay, in your opinion, helped or hurt people's understanding of comics and character perception?
I don't think there's any hurt to it. I mean, it's a positive. I mean, cosplay is a whole different genre than collectors. We're collectors. We like to read. We like to know what's going on. A cosplayer is more into the character, into the visual, into the dress up. So it's very few people. I don't want to say they don't merge very well, but a cosplay is not necessarily a comic book reader per se. Not always.
The theatrics?
Yes, it's more for the show, which is good. I love it. I mean, can't get no better than some of the stuff you see in cosplaying, and brings people to the store to look for references. I have a friend of mine, Dina, that does different characters. She'll come here to look at female characters to make her costumes. So she was working on Lady Demon. That's a character from an old character from. She's related to Lady Death. She came here and got the comics to see what the character looked like. So it helps.
Yeah, a lot of cosplayers make a lot of money. And
Spend a lot of money,
yeah, I mean,
it's expensive to be a cosplayer.
Yeah, but if you're real good with it, people will pay you for your appearances. And I give a lot of cosplayers credit. Like on my website, we have #BlurredHot, where we talk about hip hop and we talk about hip hop influence of comics. And through cosplaying, we see that people are introduced to independent books.
Yes.
Why is it important for you as a comic book shop owner to carry independent books as well as the main two in the mainstream comic?
Well, as a comic book reader, I'm a well-rounded individual, meaning I just don't read superheroes, or I don't just collect superheroes. So in the especially the last 15 years, independents have been more geared to everything but superheroes. So you have noir, you have female characters that are strong, you got band players, you got time travelers, steampunk. So if you look at my rack, this is the new stuff in the last month. Marvel and DC are only the first 16 racks.
There you go, 16.
The other 40 are independent.
Here.
So in reality, we get as much independent as we get of Marvel and DC. So I try to get at least one of everything because you never know what people are going to want.
Okay.
And right now with a lot of the comics are becoming TV shows or movies. So right now, Deadly Class is a TV show in sci-fi coming out. You have Skywalker. What's the girl's name, Sam? DC. This came out.
Silencer?
No, Sky. The girl that walks upside down.
Image. That's Skywalker.
Skywalker, right?
Skywalker. Yeah.
No, not Skywalker.
Yes.
It's going to be a TV. It's going to be a movie. Got picked up. Wicked and Divine is going to be a movie. Skyward. I'm trying to find out what it was. It's a lot of minority comics now that were not before. I mean, there's a resurgence of all kinds of comics, and you have to. If you're a collector, you have to like everything, not just Marvel and DC.
So I want to ask you about 3 more questions, and we're gonna really give them a high. The question I want to ask is, with, like you said, I hate to use the word minority, it disgusts me, but for the sake of the conversation, we'll say minority. For the sake of that argument, we've seen the boom of people of color and different ethnic identifications now not be classified as standing points in comics. They're now leaders of voice and genre. Yes. People like Daryl Goza has a step. We have TJ Sterling with Red Arcus Entertainment. We have Dan McNeil, Andre Batts, and the list goes on.
Right. Locally, these are all local artists that you're talking about right now.
No, Andre Batts is in Michigan.
Okay. But everybody else you mentioned is
right,
local.
It's local, yes.
Yeah.
You carry their books as well.
I have a whole
right here.
3 tiers of local and independent, like not independent, but these are local people.
Right.
People that we know ourselves and put out their own books.
How important is it for the younger generation to see not only Spider-Man and Batman, but to see PB Soldier and Corsairs and quote-unquote minority heroes and look at not only color, but raw black and white noir like Dummy Comics and things like that.
Yes.
How important is it for a child to see that comic books are not just oversexed superheroes or crazed cartoons, but the actual gritty, real-life stories that can be touched and talked upon through animation and story?
Well, first of all, the biggest thing that it does is let you relate to the character. I mean, I love reading comics my whole life, but you don't realize, like, you can't relate to Thor. You know, I can't relate to Captain America.
Right.
I don't have the same lifestyle. We don't have the same, but back then we used to love the White Tigers, the only Hispanic superhero we had in the 80s. And they killed them off. We still don't have many Hispanics. We started to get a couple now. But you got to relate to the character. That helps a lot. So these local guys are building characters like PB Soldiers, people that local people could relate. They don't have superpowers, a lot of them. They're just regular people doing adventures or helping people. So it does make it more a relationship thing where you could relate to the character more than you could to the big, I can't relate to Superman. I can't fly. I can't do all that kind of stuff. I like the stories, but you can't relate to them yet. Somebody like Moon Girl you could relate to because you know, the circumstances you go through as a young girl in school, you've been through that stuff. So it's something you can relate to a little more, and that helps kids.
I like that. The next question I have comes off of that. We see the rise of the female voice in comics now. Gail Simone always held it down as one of the great writer and illustrator. Great with it. Now we see more women getting into comics. What advice would you give to a young woman or someone who wants to get into comics? As a shop owner, everybody's perspective in the shop is, you know, respected. So what advice would you give someone like a young woman? And let me, a two-part question. A young woman who wants to get into comics, or a mother who wants to introduce comics to their child?
That's a tough question, because for a long time we had very few representation. Like you said, Gail Simone and a couple of other females. But right now there's tons of female writers and artists in comics. Matter of fact, DC's doing something really cool. It's called DC Inc. next year, and it's a line of female minority creators. And a lot of the books are going to be female oriented. That's somewhere to start. I mean, a lot of the book, Paper Girls, there's already a line of stuff that I recommend. First, if you're going to be a creator, you got to talk to other creators. Matter of fact, I have every third Thursday, next time they're going to meet, here on the store on Thursday night, a group of girls meet. They're called the Interdimensional Travelers. So they're girls that are between ages of 18 and 25, and they were creators at one point and felt like they were giving up on their craft. So they've been meeting here once a month, trying to rekindle their love for the art. So they started reading Black Panther, and I loved the first session they had. What they made each other do was come up with an artistic interpretation of the Black Panther, but not something you were familiar with. So if you were a rapper, you could rap. You had to draw. If you were, let's say, a writer, you had to do a drama. So they all came in and interpreted something about the Black Panther in a different art form to get the juices flowing. So definitely get within a community that's going to feed your creativity. I'm not a writer. I'm not an inker. You know, I can't do any of that stuff. I wish I could. I tried when I was younger. I couldn't manage it. That's why I have a store. So,
and for the mother who wants to bring their child,
bring them in. We'll walk you through. We'll tell you what to read. We'll help you look for stuff that's age appropriate. We'll recommend different books. There's you know, DC Girls. There's a lot of, you know, we got the My Little Pony, Rainbow Bright. If you got really young girls that want to get into comics, they're going backwards now, bringing some of those old 90s cartoons that we used to love for young girls and guys if they like it too. I mean, the bronies love My Little Pony, so there's a whole community of guys who love My Little Pony. They're called the bronies. Listen, there's
cool.
There's something for everybody.
And that's cool, because that's the one thing about comics. Comics was for everybody. The reason why I like comics is because I grew up as a psychology major in college, you know what I'm saying? And I say, whatever is your favorite of something, you have to relate to it in your life. I like tragic characters, because I think when a person can beat tragedy, it defines their character. Some people are in the extreme, so the Hulk and being misunderstood is something for them. Superman is about immigration. It's about fitting in and being, you know, not conforming to the norm, but being accepted as normal. And for some people, they like the villains. And DC's always led. Lex Luthor is like
Joker.
He's an alien, and we're human. We're supposed to be above aliens. So why are you making an alien your savior? And Joker, chaos brings the truth in human civility, savagery. You see what I'm saying? And in knowing that, as a creator, as an owner, why is it important for all people who like comics to come to Fortress of Solitude comic shop?
Wow. Well, first of all, we got the best variety of most people. If you look, we get every comic book, so we give you an opportunity to get anything you want.
Sure.
So we don't stick to Marvel and DC only. Every single independent, like, you know, stuff like you would find Star Trek and Transformers just have a team up. Who would have thought of that?
I mean,
Stranger Things from the TV show, they got a comic now.
Video game coming.
If you want to get more independent, you got stuff like, this is a horror comic, Phantasmagoria Moria.
Yeah.
Vader Sim has a comic. So we give you a variety. We treat you with respect because we're the same as you. We're not different. You're not going to come in here, we're going to treat you like you're going to cause some harm or anything. We give you room to browse and look and feel the books and touch everything. We encourage you to come in and look at stuff and feel for the comic books. Not only that, we want to keep it going here in Newark because there's not too many positive places in Newark, to be honest. All you hear is the bad news. Last night they have 4 shootings all around the city. That's all you hear about Newark. You don't hear a place like this that's been around for 38 years, helping out the community, not, you know, just serving. That doesn't get publicity. The negative stuff does.
Right.
One thing I wanted to add was my favorite comic growing up was Legion of Superheroes. And now I understand what was my favorite. I have every single Legion of Superhero from 1968 until now.
Wow.
Because it was everybody from the universe, different planets coming to work together. Mm-hmm. So I didn't understand it because when I was younger that it was basically, you know, everybody working as a community, whatever race you were in. Like, you know, you had people from Dorland and other planets, but they all worked together for the greater good. And this is why it was always my favorite. Did I ask you a question? Because I lost my train of thought.
No, I mean, it was great. I mean, it's wonderful because the most important thing about Fortress of Solitude to me is I grew up coming here. And you know me since I was a little boy.
Oh, my God.
And I mean, going back to buying cartoons and buying books and getting action figures. This was the first, you had the first store I ever bought the Marvel toys where Wolverine had the retractable claws.
Okay.
And I mean, I had it since I've had that toy for like ages, and to the point where as a man I'm now a teacher and I gave my toys away to my students.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I try to get them the parents to come
I hate
to
to admit it, but I'm getting so old that people are bringing their kids now.
But that's
So
dope.
you know I'm getting old. We're going to second and third generation collectors now.
Yeah, and that's great.
Yeah, no, it is great. I mean, I'll be honest, sometimes I wanted to close it just because there's so much work. But my friends here, the community won't let me. They're like, oh, where are we going to go if he closed down? So.
Right. So tell everybody, how do they come here? What's the address, websites, and everything?
Okay, we're 50th University Avenue between Orange and James Street, next to the Halal Meat Place and Goodwill. We're across the street from 1 Washington. Our phone number is 973-242-3725. Our website, we just got it, thefortressprime.com. It's up and running. You could purchase stuff if you want from there. You could also communicate with us through there. We're in Google, we're in Facebook at Fortress Prime. We're in eBay also as Fortress Prime. So we're getting around everywhere now. We're trying to get up to date.
All right. So everybody out there that loves comics and is into Blurred Hop, you know, shout out to Deuce H. Wood. He had the Comic Con album here in the store.
That's right. You film
we filmed Exterminate Them.
Exterminate here,
Dr. Who, which you will see on heritagehiphop.com. Hey, y'all, come get them books. Come get them shirts. Let's take a little tour.
Thank you.
This interview has been sponsored by Fortress of Solitude Comics. Get your gear, get your toys. We got wrestling, we got everything here. So at the end of the day, y'all want to come get them books. Y'all want to come get them videos. Look, pops, posters, we got it all. Peace, everybody. And before we go, we're gonna put our money where our mouth is. Before we go, like I said, this man is about the community. And here's some of the community books. You might have seen.